Hey everybody, this is BEH Talks, talking loud, saying everything to enlighten, inspire, and empower you. There's been something that has been weighing heavily on my mind these last few days as it concerns Donald Trump and what he had said. And I don't need to go ahead and say what he said, but I need to pull out a key point here about what they are implying that he said. But before I get into that, let me just say this. We as African Americans, we need to stop jumping on the bandwagon of situations that concern other people. And when I say other people, I mean those people who are outside of who American descendants of slaves are. We are separate and apart. And let me be clear on that. We are separate and apart from people of color, and they have continuously tried to include us in that circle. Our struggles are not the struggles of people of color. We are in a class by ourselves. Why I say that is because everybody needs or being paid attention to, or everybody needs have brought attention to what their struggles are and have excluded African Americans from that group. But yet they continue to include us in that. When I first heard about what Donald Trump had said, someone told me that he said we should go back to Africa. We, meaning African Americans born in this country, African Americans who are American descendants of slaves. And I said to myself, and I said to the person, I said, he didn't say that. And before I actually went to investigate exactly what he said, it appeared to me that I didn't really need to hear what he said, because there is no way he said that. And I didn't even read what he had actually said. But when I finally read it for myself, he was not even talking about us. And he didn't say specifically for anybody to go back. And they keep using those two words, go back. He simply said that those people who were actually from foreign countries, that if they were not pleased with what was going on in this country, perhaps they should go back to their own countries and protest and, go against what their former countries are doing, as opposed to coming here and trying to tear down what this country does. And I think that was fair enough to say, because actually it's the truth. And where it doesn't apply to us, we were born right here. This is our country right here. So we have a right to protest any injustices that come to us. So when I look at these women who have taken center stage, coming out to protest what he said, the first thing I said to myself, I'm not them. This doesn't have anything to do with me. There's nothing I could go back to. I'm a born citizen of this United States. So there's no place for me to go to. And for those who say, well, you're of African descent. Well, I've never been to Africa. I don't know anything about Africa. All I know is what goes on here and what my ancestors taught me, and the culture that I have, or the culture that is upon me as a American descendant of slaves. So we always have this thing where we jump on the bandwagon with the other people of color, and oh, look what he said. He didn't say that to us. He wasn't talking to us. So I keep trying to understand why we find a need to jump in on something when we got our own problems right amongst us. Nobody jumps on our bandwagon with the things that are going on with African Americans in this country, American descendants of slaves. Nobody comes to put it out there publicly. Oh, it's a shame what they're doing to us. Now, I get ready to say these people, to us. So these women who have taken center stage, let me be clear about this. I'm black first, and then I'm a woman. And these women will not stand up and say that. They're not going to say that. So don't include me in that group. And I have no sympathy for you. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm black first, and then I'm a woman. As a matter of fact, I'm an American descendant of slaves first, and then I'm a black woman. So for all of you who are out there rallying against what that man said, there must be some underlying reason for that. Like perhaps maybe you are from another country. And that's fine. Rally on. I'm speaking directly to the American born citizens, black citizens of this country. It's because this thing has nothing to do with us. Come on, black people, get a grip and keep our minds focused on what we're trying to get here, which is the reparations. And here it is, another distraction to get our minds on what we need to do for us. And we're on a roll. We're here trying to create our own economic development. We're here trying to get our reparations. We're here trying to come up with ways to better the conditions of African Americans here in this country. So when something like this comes out, it's nothing but a distraction. I don't care. I don't care about this. I don't care. But yet we have found a way to bring it into to our life and the things that we're going through. And it has nothing to do with us. Now, this commentary, I'm speaking from the top of my head, so I'm trying to bring out the key points without going on so long. But it disturbs me. And the more news I see about it, the more it makes me cringe. What that man said, he didn't say no go back, and he didn't say no go back to Africa. He said that if they did not, or if they are not pleased about what's going on here, that perhaps they should consider going back and to straighten out things in their former countries. Now, for the one individual who was supposedly born here, she still carries the love for her fellow citizens in her parents' country, or else she wouldn't even be there. She wouldn't be there standing and standing with those other women and talking about what he said. This is just one more thing to try to discredit this man and to take him off of his square of what he's supposed to be doing about this whole immigration thing. And so how dare you? And then the other thing is, these four women I know particularly rallies for immigration to stand as it is. And I got a problem with that because that problem needs to be resolved. And I'm not going to start on that because I try to figure out too what make people think that they could just bombard this country and not even be a citizen and then take the jobs and the housing and everything else and money from citizens of the United States. What make them think that? And those four women should disperse themselves into those countries that the so-called immigrants are running from because of unjust treatment or whatever, a better life. Why don't they go there to create a better life for these people? The United States is not obligated to give a better life to other people before others meaning us, to get a better life. We're trying to get a better life. So where does that leave us? You push us aside and give these other people a better life. Now who could tell me what is wrong with that? But anyway, my thoughts here is a little jumbled, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying here. Black folks of America, please stay focused. Leave all this other stuff alone. And also stop classifying yourself two things within two categories. That's people of color and minorities. That's how we get lost in the shuffle because the so-called minorities are getting all the benefits and we're getting nothing. I'm no minority and I'm no people of color. So I'm going to end right here. I know there's some other things I need to say, and I don't really care who likes what I said. I don't care because I am a true Black American. I confess that I am an American descendant of slaves and that I love my people and I want to do everything that I can to help them, along with so many others. So, with that said, this is B.E. Hamilton. Thank you for your time.